Hello and welcome to today's briefing. I'm Dana, and joining me is Matt. We're covering a wide range of stories, from politics to entertainment. Let's start with the latest on UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. The Observer newspaper reports that Keir Starmer is expected to resign on Monday and may set out a timetable for his departure. However, a government source contradicted this, stating that Starmer remains focused on governing.
That's a significant contradiction. What's the context behind this potential resignation? Was there any specific reason mentioned in the reports?
The reporting suggests that Starmer's leadership has been weakened by scandals and policy shifts, leading to widespread unpopularity. Over 100 Labour lawmakers have publicly called for his exit.
So it seems like there's internal pressure. Did the reports mention any potential successors or figures supporting Starmer?
The reports mention Andy Burnham as a likely successor, with his recent parliamentary victory positioning him as a strong contender. Some senior figures are reportedly urging Starmer to step down voluntarily.
That's interesting. What about the government's response to these claims? Did they provide any further clarification?
The government source emphasized that Starmer is still focused on his job, but there's no further official statement on the resignation claims.
Okay, got it. Let's move on to another story related to this.
U.S. President Donald Trump has predicted that Keir Starmer will resign, citing failures on immigration and energy policy. How does this fit into the broader narrative around Starmer's leadership?
Trump's comments align with the narrative that Starmer is facing significant challenges. The reporting mentions that Starmer has faced intense pressure following Labour's poor local election results.
So there's both internal and external pressure on Starmer. Did Trump's statement reference any specific incidents or policies that contributed to these perceived failures?
Trump specifically mentioned immigration and energy policy, including calls to open North Sea oil. This suggests that international figures are also weighing in on Starmer's situation.
That's a bit unusual for a foreign leader to comment on another country's internal politics like this. Do we know how Starmer or his government responded to Trump's comments?
The reports don't mention a direct response from Starmer or his government to Trump's prediction.
All right, let's shift gears to a different topic. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance has arrived in Switzerland to help launch negotiations with Iranian leaders over Tehran's nuclear program. The talks aim to solidify an interim deal.
What's the significance of these talks, and what's at stake for both the U.S. and Iran?
The negotiations are crucial as they aim to curb Tehran's nuclear program and potentially end the war in Iran. The interim deal is described as fragile, indicating the complexity of the negotiations.
That sounds like a delicate situation. Are there any specific outcomes or concessions being discussed in these talks?
The reports don't go into detail about specific concessions, but they emphasize the importance of curbing Iran's nuclear program.
Okay, understood. Let's move on to another geopolitical story.
Officials in Russia-occupied Crimea have suspended civilian gasoline sales due to Ukrainian attacks on fuel supplies. This has caused severe fuel shortages and casualties.
That indicates a significant escalation. What's the latest on the Ukrainian attacks, and how have they impacted the region?
The reporting mentions that Ukrainian strikes have killed 4 people and wounded 28. The attacks have disrupted fuel supplies, leading to the suspension of civilian gasoline sales.
So there's a direct impact on civilians. Have there been any responses or statements from Russian or Ukrainian officials regarding these attacks?
The Kremlin-appointed head of Crimea reported the casualties and the suspension of gasoline sales, but didn't elaborate on any official responses.
All right, let's move on to another region.
Colombia is holding a runoff election between a conservative outsider, Abelardo de la Espriella, and a progressive lawmaker, Ivan Cepeda. The election is described as tight.
What's at stake in this election, and what are the main differences between the two candidates?
The reporting highlights that both candidates are tapping into fears of a renewed internal conflict, indicating a deeply divided electorate.
That suggests a challenging political landscape. Are there any specific policy differences or areas of focus for these candidates?
The articles don't go into detailed policy comparisons, but they mention that the candidates represent different political outlooks.
Okay, let's switch to the economy.
The combined market valuation of 9 of India's top 10 most valued companies surged by 2.51 lakh crore. Bharti Airtel led the gains, with its market valuation rising by 52,432.67 crore.
That's a significant boost. What factors contributed to this surge in market valuation?
The reporting attributes the rally to improving global risk sentiment and a strong performance in domestic equities.
So it's largely driven by market sentiment and global factors. Are there any specific sectors or companies that are driving this trend?
Bharti Airtel was the biggest gainer among the top 10 firms, indicating strong performance in the telecom sector.
All right, let's look at another economic story.
Tata Motors has secured over 3,400 electric commercial vehicle orders across various segments. This strengthens its leadership in India's electric commercial vehicle market.
That's a significant milestone. What does this indicate about the adoption of electric vehicles in India's commercial sector?
The orders highlight growing adoption of clean mobility solutions across industries, indicating a shift towards large-scale integration of electric vehicles.
So it's a positive sign for the EV market. Are there any specific factors driving this adoption, according to the reports?
The reporting mentions that Tata Motors is expanding its comprehensive EV solutions, which is likely driving the adoption.
Okay, let's move on to another economic story.
The Enforcement Directorate has seized assets exceeding 1,023 crore in a Goa illegal iron ore mining case. The probe revealed illegal mining between 2007 to 12, generating significant crime proceeds.
That's a substantial amount. What were the key findings of the probe, and who were the main parties involved?
The probe into the Salgaocar Group and associates revealed extensive money laundering activities through offshore entities. The total crime value is estimated at 5,237 crore.
So it's a complex case involving multiple entities. Are there any specific actions being taken against those involved?
The Enforcement Directorate has attached various assets, including properties in Singapore and equity shares in Indian companies.
All right, let's look at another economic indicator.
Oil marketing companies are expected to face challenges due to under-recoveries in Q1 FY27. The reporting cites persistent volatility in crude prices and inventory rebuilding as factors.
What's driving these under-recoveries, and how might they impact the company's profitability?
The under-recoveries are attributed to LPG losses and compressed margins due to crude price volatility.
Okay, understood. Let's move on to a consumer goods story.
Voltas, a Tata Group company, has sold 1 million air conditioner units in the first quarter of FY27. This is a record achievement for the company.
That's impressive. What factors contributed to this success, according to the reports?
The reporting attributes the success to a refreshed product line and strong consumer trust. The RAC industry expects good sales this year after a dull 2025.
So it's a combination of product strategy and market conditions. Are there any broader trends in the RAC that are worth noting?
The industry anticipates robust sales driven by intense heat waves and strategic company initiatives.
All right, let's shift to sports.
Lamine Yamal scored in his first World Cup start, helping Spain secure a 4-0 victory over Saudi Arabia. Yamal ended Spain's long wait for a World Cup goal.
That's a significant performance. What's the context of this match, and how did Yamal's goal impact the game?
Yamal scored just 10 minutes into the match, kickstarting Spain's dominant performance. Mikel Oyarzabal also scored twice, contributing to the 4-0 win.
So it was a strong team effort. Are there any implications of this win for Spain's World Cup campaign?
The victory suggests Spain is back in form after a draw in their previous match. Yamal's performance is particularly noteworthy given his return from injury.
Okay, let's look at another sports story.
Japan marked the 1,000th World Cup match with a 4-0 win over Tunisia. Ayase Ueda scored twice, contributing significantly to the victory.
That's a historic win. What were the key moments in the match, and how did Japan's performance impact their standings?
Daichi Kamada opened the scoring early, and Ueda's 2 goals further solidified Japan's lead. The win moves Japan closer to the knockout stages.
So it's a strong indication of Japan's form. Are there any other notable stories from the World Cup matches?
The reporting highlights that this was the 1,000th World Cup match, making it a significant milestone.
All right, let's move on to some entertainment news.
Peppa Pig is airing on Nick Jr., with various episodes scheduled throughout the week. The show includes episodes like Igloo and Singing Competition.
That's great for fans of the show. Are there any new or notable episodes being highlighted?
The reporting mentions specific episodes such as Movie Night and Paper Games, indicating a variety of storylines.
Okay, let's look at another entertainment story.
Yasha's film Toxic, A Fairy Tale for Grown-Ups, is set for release on August 26, 2026. The film has been delayed multiple times.
That's a significant delay. What are the expectations around this film, and what's the context of its release?
The film is described as a big-budget action thriller, and its release is planned during a festive period, which could boost its box office performance.
So it's a highly anticipated release. Are there any other notable entertainment stories?
Yes, let's look at another one.
Rod Stewart used an oxygen tank on stage during a concert in Utah after nearly fainting. This happened weeks after he canceled multiple U.S. shows due to health issues.
The concert continued after a brief pause, with Stewart performing from a chair and using the oxygen tank.
That's a concerning health issue. Are there any updates on his condition or the impact on his tour schedule?
The reports don't provide further details on his condition or future tour plans.
All right, let's look at another entertainment story.
Tipping Point is airing on ITV Quiz HD with various episodes scheduled.